All right, so we got a new book haul here today. This is for, I guess, November, even though it's the middle of the month. I went to the Dayton Book Fair, which is once a year. We look forward to it every year. So there's a shit ton of books here. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. These are all kind of by genre. But this one I didn't really know what genre to put it in, so The Crowded Sky is a airplanes adventure disaster. Two airplanes are going to crash into each other because they can't see what's going on down on the ground. These next two I kind of didn't know where to put them, so they're together. This is a hijacking of a New York City subway. Look to be pretty 70s, for lack of a better word, description. I love 70s New York settings. So grimy and crimey. This one made me chuckle. I love mystery settings with baseball centered or sports centered plots. And this is a tennis one, so you don't really see that too often. So it's like terrorists are gonna threaten to kill the queen, and whoever wins the Wimbledon match, they don't get $200,000 or something. Yeah, it's adorable. Got some White Album kind of cover going on here. These next three are kind of, I don't know, skeezy would be the genre. This guy escapes prison and hooks up with a, looks like an underage girl. Yeah, classy. So, yeah, old Lion books. This one I can't really get. I've read the back here and I can't really get the plot, but it's sort of like just this working class dude who at Saturday night goes out drinking and I don't know, gets into shenanigans, I guess. He's on a spree, but it's not like a crime spree. I don't know what it's about, but it looked interesting. This one had me cracking up. This is like it's from 1970, so it's like a hippie exploitation, I guess, where it kind of goes over the top of, you know, the young generation, and they used to go for beer. Now it's pot, speed, and acid. Kiss on the first date used to be the question. Now it's whose bed to use. I don't know. It just is like this kind of paranoia. I imagine the author was a dude with a flat top, 1950s flat top guy. And keeping with the kind of sleaziness, here's some actual sleaze. I found a Midwood. Pictures of Marcia. Looks to be like this girl forced into taking dirty pictures kind of thing. Skeezy and sleazy. We got this kind of spy one. Commander Amanda. She's going to make Bond blush. To be pretty ridiculous. And this is like one of my favorite finds right here. A Grand Slam. About a female pro ball player for the New York Blues. And she turns them on to pot, organic food, wife swapping, meditation, and vibrators. Oh my god, that's so awesome. The fucking organic food. Man, yeah, she's into some kinky stuff. Organic food. Yeah, I mean, it's a little. I like flipped through it because I was like, why? This is on fucking Warner Brothers here, Warner Paperback Library. So how dirty could it actually be? And I flipped through it and found some of the sex scenes, and it's like it's kind of soft core, but a little bit on a dirtier level than softcore, but not hardcore, if that makes any sense. Yeah, that was a really cool find. Okay, here's one that I don't know what genre to put it in here. It's called The Jesuit. It's a Fawcett Crest. It's about a Jesuit priest who gets a summons from Rome, and then he has to go on this dangerous mission, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a crime story or what. I got an Alistair MacLean. Like I said, I usually only pick these up when they're super cheap, just because they're so common. Fear's the Key. Got a big old stack of spy books. Got this I Spy novelization, John Tiger. I never actually seen the show. I always see these out, but I figured what the hell is $1? So, a dictator known as the Devil, who believes all power and all women belong to him by natural right. Oh, look, there he is in the cover. You got a couple Nick Carters here. It's the Killmaster. This one has got a really boring cover, and it's one of the first ones I grabbed. And if I would have seen it later, I probably would have skipped on it, but well, a little bit better cover. I don't know, they didn't put a lot of effort into these covers. A Bullet for Fidel. Oh, very specific. Got a Donald Hamilton Matt Helm here. Excellent. Gold medal. There's the man. Got The Girl from U.N.C.L.E. Another show that I haven't seen. I see a bunch of these U.N.C.L.E. books out and usually also pass them up. But this one was written by Michael Avallone. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Never actually heard anyone say it. So, yeah. So that one came with us. Excited to find this James Bond pan that I was missing. Moonraker. Awesome. Probably like the 1,000,000th printing of it, but whatever. 21st printing. I love how Pan puts these, and they weren't messing around. It's cool for from a collector's point of view. We appreciate it. It's cool. I don't know what the hell happened to the bottom here. Still excited to have it. Here's another one by John Tiger. Mission Impossible. This is a show that I have seen, and I absolutely love these old Mission Impossible episodes. What's his name? He plays Bela Lugosi on that Ed Wood movie. He's so funny in that movie. Yeah, it's great. I was excited about this. I think they're fighting Nazis or something? Yeah. They're going up against Nazis, so excellent. Mission Impossible. Got an On Her Majesty's Secret Service movie cover here. Never seen that one before. Doesn't mean that it's not common, but I haven't seen it before. It's interesting. Corsica. A bizarre spy plot to destroy America. All leads point to the Corsican Mafia. And they sure were obsessed with the Mafia plots back in the day, huh? Got this Helen McInnes, a double image. female writing spy books. Very cool. Don't see that too much. Drives me crazy when they just have these little press blurbs here on the back and not the plot. It's annoying. Found these. I didn't even know these existed. These 3 Lawrence blocks. Evan Tanner, the most unusual spy who ever lived. So yeah, I love Lawrence Block, so that was very cool. On the car, Call for the Dead. I read one of his, I forget what it was called, Small Town in Germany or something like that. Man, that was a difficult book to get through. I really didn't understand it, and it's very bureaucratic. It was, it was rough. But this one was really short, so I was like, I'll give him another chance here. I really loved the movie for The Spy Who Came in from the Cold. I absolutely love that movie. But reading it it's hard. It's difficult. So hopefully this one's a little bit more fun, a little faster paced. Gerald A. Brown, Hazard. Love how they highlighted ESP in espionage. Hoping that there's some kind of like psychokinetic type of stuff going on in here. Hopefully. We'll see. We got 2 87th precincts. One is a very cool 60s one. It has to do with a murder that takes place on live television, I believe. Really love the cover art on that one. Very 60s. Kind of Max Headroom-ish also, huh? And then I got this 80s 87th Precinct, Widows. Looks like the cover of Paul's Boutique there. I've seen this one a bunch, but the size of it was a little intimidating, and it was never $1. It was always like $4, and that's expensive to me. So my wife wanted this House in Peking, heir to the throne, slave to a concubine. I'm not really 100% sure what it is. I think it's a romance story, historical romance. I think she just liked the girl's dress. I don't know. She loves Asian things. Got a little bit of sci-fi. I'm not too big into sci-fi. When the thing started, I was worried that people were going to run in and buy the books that I wanted, but no one gave a shit about the books that I wanted, except for maybe the sci-fi fantasy people. That was packed. But I waited till it thinned out, and I picked up a few. The Secret People. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I really love that cover there. The mushrooms. It's like a kind of a journey to the center of the earth type of thing. Got this A.E. Van Vogt, More Than Superhuman. It's actually a collection of stories. This one, I think, let me see. Oh yeah, this is the, it's like a private eye sci-fi kind of thing where, it's kind of a Sliders thing where, Hitler's back and he invites him to a cocktail party and aliens from outer space. I don't know. Maybe it's funny, but it might be a comedy, but I don't know. This one I got purely for that right there. The gold medal. 4 from Planet 5. Looks to be pretty standard sci-fi here. Marie Leinster. I don't know. This is my very first double. I don't like the doubles. I own, thousands of books. And this is my very first double, because I usually will never buy them. But the idea of these like space pirates really intrigued me, so I was like, yeah, I guess for $1. You know what I think drives me the most crazy is the spines. That drives me nuts. I don't know. I should think of it like a split 7-inch where 2 bands are on one record, but it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't work for books with me. And then lastly, for sci-fi, I got this Robert Silverberg, Silent Invaders. Once again, cool cover, and I have read Robert Silverberg, and I do enjoy his writing. Kind of like the hard-boiled crime stuff. Kill Town, Richard Stark. Newspaper Murders, Bill Granger. Porter solving serial killer stuff. James Lee Burke, Black Cherry Blues. I read Neon Rain and really liked it, and this one I've been sitting in my half-price books for like forever, but it's like $5. So I was like, I'm not paying $5 for that. So I held out, and here it is for $1. Pretty cool. Got John D. McDonald, Area of Suspicion. I got another one, couple John D. McDonalds, I think, but it's cool. This isn't a Travis McGee. This is a standalone. Cool. How many times do I say cool in these videos? 500? Let's see. The Dragon's Eye. This is... I think this looked like this might be another Reporter one. So I was like, oh, it looks like Men's Adventure, but it's not. Blood of My Brother. It's kind of some noirish stuff here. His brother gets killed, he doesn't believe it, and then the cop's like, I don't know, you figure it out. Love this cover. Just has a certain feel to it. Lillian O'Donnell. You know, it's not, I don't know, it looked a little bit harder than a regular mystery, so I threw it in with the hard boiled, but I'm not 100% sure. Long Way Down, Colin Wilcox. Looks to be pretty sleazy crime here. I think, yeah. This guy's dead. Then they go to tell the wife, and she doesn't care. It says, well, her black radical lover just laughed and flashed a perfect alibi. Until a second murder rewrote the script with a new cast of Satan-loving characters. I'm in. Very 70s. Donald E. Westlake, The Busybody. It's in really bad condition. But, you know, when you're at these things, you're just kind of grabbing stuff pretty quickly, so you don't really think too much about it. I got 3 of these Robert B. Parker Spencer novels. Judas Goat, Rachel Welch, Savage Place. Never read anything by this guy, but I've definitely read reviews of it. It looks pretty cool. And I would really love to get my hands on an older copy here, The Executioners, but it is Cape Fear with the movie cover. I love both those movies, especially the first one. The second one, you know, is awesome too, but Robert Mitchum is so good. It's hard to beat him, even if you're Robert De Niro. So I think everyone kind of knows what that is, but still. Pretty excited about that. Mike Shane Mystery. I'm always happy to get more of these. Brett Halliday. Then I did get one Travis McGee that I didn't have. Quick Red Fox. We got some random here. I got this excellent looking old Babe Ruth story by Babe Ruth. these old school baseball stuff. Very Americana. Got this too. I always consider this stuff like comic booky, which is the Avenger, the Hate Master, and then Fu Manchu, Same Rover Mask of Fu Manchu. Little adventure thing here, a north wall. Climbing a giant mountain. I think this has a drawing of the mountain in it, like a Conan map. Thought that was amusing. Could not believe I found this. The Aleister Crowley novel, Moonchild. Man, I don't think I've ever seen this out. I've seen his other books in paperback form, and they're always so expensive. To find this for $1. I used to be, when I was in my 20s, I was obsessed with Aleister Crowley. I read all of his like nonfiction stuff, magic stuff. The only thing is the back cover is missing. Still, very excited to get this. Got a stack of Gothics here. These are all, you know, plot-wise, pretty similar. So, I guess we don't have to really go into the plots of them. It's usually a woman inherits a house, or she has to go live in an old house, and there's a guy, and he might be cool, he might be a dickhead. She's in danger. Maybe there's some ghost stuff. I really do like these Gothics, though. Every once in a while I get in the mood for them, and they're perfect. They always have great covers. This one I got a couple hauls ago, but it was in bad condition, so this is a really nice version. That one looks really old-timey. Almost looks like a Dracula kind of thing. Got an older edition of The Invisible Man in an earlier haul, but I found this kind of cheaper reader here. And it's a Scholastic. I like that font they used. It's cool. It's great. New stories from the Twilight Zone. These are, I have lots of Twilight Zone books, but all of them are stories from the show. This is the first one I think I've seen where it's absolutely new stories. Extremely excited to find this Frankenstein horror series, The Curse of Quintana Roo. I got 2 of those at the Gym City Comic Con, and they were $10 a piece. So finding this for $1, it's a good find. It needs some love, but we can put it back together. It's excellent kind of mutant horror. Kind of a post-apocalyptic kind of thing. Earthquake, LA, mutants, viruses. I like that monster. It's like a classic sci-fi, but horror. Of Flowers in the Attic, a first UK printing. Virginia Andrews. You know, when you open it up, it doesn't have any of her other titles, which is telling. This is the Fontana version from 1980. So I think this is the first edition, first UK edition of Flowers in the Attic. The Legacy. John Coyne. Oh, I already had this one, but it was in bad condition. This one is in pretty good condition. The cover always made me laugh. Masters of Horror, another old horror collection. The Door to December. This is like Evil Kid type stuff. I usually not a fan of the Evil Kids. Night of the Grizzlies. It's about a bear attack. When I seen it there, I was like, oh man, I bet this is awesome and a lot of fun, like a Jaws, but Grizzlies. But then I read the back cover and it's like, it's based on a true story of like two girls that were mauled by this bear and then the hunters going out to kill this bear. And I was like, that's definitely not as fun as I thought it was going to be. Still, let's see here. The Devil's Whisper. It's about this guy who keeps getting these phone calls and saying crazy shit to him, and he doesn't know if it's real. He's seeing things. Is it all in his mind or someone out to get him? You know, like this paranoia noir kind of thing. Kind of creepy. The Murder of the Missing Link by Versers. Just by Verser. Interesting. Yeah, this is, oh man, I read this, I was like, oh, that's what I picked up, huh? It's like this guy who kills his baby son, and then he's like, he had to. I'll keep my explanation until later. Like, oh man, rough. That's the rough stuff. Murder of the Missing Link. So maybe his child was deformed or something. God, I don't know. Sounds fucked up. The End of Youngblood Johnson. This is like a kind of a biography of this priest. This guy that became a priest, but he was a heroin junkie and he pushing dope on Harlem streets for the mafia, and he was a pimp too. So at first I was like, oh man, this might be some like Christian thing where it's like all preachy, but I flipped through it and it looked pretty raw like the whole time. So I bet it's gnarly. I bet it's awesome. I bet it's like some Donald Goines type stuff. Some nonfiction. We got a couple of cults here. Mastering the Tarot. Definitely Pyramids and Occult Powers. Your Mysterious Powers of ESP. It's all mysterious. Excellent cover. Some more. Develop your psychic abilities and get them to work for you in your daily life. Oh man, look at that cover. I found a great pan. I was so bummed when I seen it was nonfiction. Because look at that. God. And it's not illustrated, it has pictures. So, I don't know. I put it back and I was almost like, I ain't getting this. And then I started to walk away and then I was like, nah, you know what? I'm going to get it. And we got this haunted houses. More haunted houses. Before all the paranormal shows. They had these like ghost books and I don't know. I was really into them when I was younger. So Men's Adventure. The Zone. I think it's post-apocalyptic stuff. Let's put that there. Chinese Bandit. Soon to be a major motion picture. Yeah, it seems like this guy has to fight his way through Asia. This one, I was like, man, it kind of looked like a horror, but it's like a horror war crossover or something. So this boat during World War II is trapped in ice, and then 40 years later it comes out. But it doesn't say if it's a ghost ship or what, but it has a crew of samurai and they're fighting Libyan terrorists. I don't know, it just seemed like fucking insane. Cobra, the heroin connection. I think this is Team Cobra here. It's the guy and the lady. From the author of The Death Merchant, Joseph Rosenberg. Some of this awesome William W. Johnston ridiculousness in the Ashes, which is cool because I actually own 2 of this series, and they didn't have those 2, but they had 3 I didn't have, so it's meant to be, I guess. And this Rankin, Enemy of the State, another apocalyptic old type thing, where he's like the last guy and he has to, I don't know. Oh, he had to protect a hunted man whose only crime had been posting the copy of the Bill of Rights. Very, very men's adventure. Big old stack of mystery here. Mignon, G. Eberhardt. From This Dark Stairway. John Dixon Carr, Sleeping Sphinx. Murder is Out by Lee Thayer. I don't remember what it is. Very classic looking. Got a Judge D book here. Robert Van Gulik. It's in excellent condition. It looks brand new. I don't think this thing's ever been read. I think it's from the 80s though, so it's not as old as the others. The Estrakan Bull. Estrakan. Frank Gruber. I love this cover. I was, as soon as I seen the cover, I grabbed it. I didn't even know what it was about till I brought it home. I thought it was like some occult book, but it's actually just a regular mystery. John Creasy, The Toff and the Deadly Parson. This one has boxing gloves on it, so there's boxers in it, which makes me very happy because I love boxing. Got 2 of these Naggio Marshes. I have 1 already, and I love the cover art in these. They're beautiful. I've never read any of her stuff. And they had a bunch of these. They had a bunch of her books, but they had this specific series. And I kind of regret not grabbing them all. Got this interesting looking nurse. What? Nun that solves mysteries. And what's really weird is I got a couple of these, and I got some very like Catholic centered mystery books here. So I don't, this is called, what's the printer? All Saints Press, which makes me think like, is that like a Christian publisher? So maybe it's like a Christian mystery. I don't know. This is my first Perry Mason. I've always avoided it because it was like, the grandma show, like this show your grandparents watch. But I was like, what the hell? Look at that cover. That's cool, and give it a shot. Got a Carter Dixon here. John Dixon Carr. Just flipped his name around. I couldn't believe it. There was only one McRae book. I was so disappointed. Last year I got like 5 hardcovers, and I thought for sure that there would be a bunch more, and there was not. And this was the only one. But it's cool. I got some others in this series, so I didn't have this one. So I'm always happy to get more. This is my absolute favorite classic mystery style. I picked up a Saint and Mr. Teal. Man, there were so many Agatha Christie's, you know. But if you read the Halloween party review on the blog or watched the video, it was a later one, and I was like, I need to read an earlier one. So yeah, found an earlier one. So hopefully it's a lot better. And I was reading the plot, and you know what's funny is they mentioned this exact story in the Halloween party. They like call back to it, like, oh, remember that party where it was a game, but then there was someone dead? So I thought, oh man, that was like meant to be then. This is an Isaac Asimov mystery collection, which I didn't even realize he did write that stuff. But oh my god, look at these, look at this font. The spider, the question mark's kind of stupid, but I don't know, it looks really dark. You usually just don't see his name associated with stuff like this. So hopefully it's as good as the cover. Here's another one of what I was saying, the Catholic plot-centered stuff. The murdered priests. And it has a detective and his unusual assistant, the inquisitive nun, Sister Ursula. So this is another nun solving mysteries. Yeah. It's more of an 80s version, but these killers are taking out priests and in Detroit, and then keen-witted Father Kostler, clerical sleuth extraordinaire, has to stop him. So this is like a priest solving mysteries. Yeah, I don't know why there were so many of that. This one's like an Egyptian-centered mystery. And I got this one. This one didn't look as interesting, but I grabbed it anyway. The tour. I got this J. Allen Dunn, The Treasures of Atlantis, the Centaur Press, which is the ones that put out the Solomon Kanes that I've been getting. And it's the Time Lost books, which is like they reprint old pulp stories into paperback form. So yeah, I was pretty stoked on this. I was pretty excited. I didn't know who this was. I don't know who this is or what the story is. I mean, obviously it's Atlantis, but yeah, that looks great. Excited to read it. Then I was also very excited to find this, the third in the series of the Silver Glass. I got the first two. Now the third. Da-da-da-da. Female sword and sorcery. Barbarian. Badass. Thriller, serial killer thriller here. This one's from the 70s. I'd never seen this publisher before. Black Lizard. I think it's from, or maybe it's from the 80s. Yeah, it's from the 80s, so it's like an 80s publisher of this kind of stuff. I think this is like a lawyer version, but I still include it. Yeah, I love this stuff. I was hoping I would find more of it because I don't think anyone cares about it anymore, but it really wasn't too much. Glory. Yeah. This one is definitely serial killer. Yeah, more of those quotes in the back, man. I just tell me the fucking plot. I don't care about what the Miami Herald has to say about it, you know? Just tell me the plot. You ain't gotta don't put this shit on the cover. I'm telling it like it still exists, like it's not from fucking 1982. A twist of the knife. This was actually more of a men's adventure kind of thing, where it's post-apocalyptical and this guy is a renegade cop. He abandons his devotion to the law for the thrill of the hunt. Kill all the anarchists, you know. You know the stuff. Red Dragon. $1. I didn't have it, so there it is. I like this movie. So, Mothman Prophecies. Mothman, I've actually been to Point Pleasant myself and been to the Mothman Museum. Drove over the bridge. Point Pleasant isn't actually that far from where I'm at, so it's not like a big journey, but still, it was fun. The Western section was kind of a disappointment, but I did grab this Sundance. Just I was like, I gotta get something. Blonde native dude, and it's about a big game hunter hunting him. So hopefully, he fucking skins the big game hunter like they all should be. So here's the stack of hardcovers, and this will be it. So it's like a teenage delinquent thing, murder mystery. I don't know. Yeah. Luis Mendoza mystery. I have another one of her books. I didn't realize it was a her until I opened this up and seen her chilling with her cat. This one I bought purely for the cover. Get my hand out of there. In the glare. Faded Sun. Kutha. Man, this had the most convoluted plot description here. I was so confused just reading this. I was like, oh my god, I can't even imagine how like in-depth world building kind of stuff this is. I was like, oh my god, that's too much. Nonfiction Bermuda Triangle here. Hardcover. It's fun. Got a couple horror. The Touch. F. Paul Wilson. You know what? I'm just going to back this up. There we go. Author of The Keep. It's like some kind of, well, sorry, doctor horror story. And then I read the back, and he is actually a doctor. He's not like a, I mean, he's a professional writer, obviously, but his day job is doctor. I tried to see what books he had behind him. All I could read was Dagon, though. Right behind his head, it says Dagon. There, you know what? Let's put this back down. I'm too shaky. Amy Girl, Barry Wood. She wrote The Tribe. It's a paperback from hell, I believe, featured in the book. I think this is another kid one. Evil Kids. This is a mystery, Night Waking, a novel by Kathleen Snow. There was a bunch of these old mystery books, hardcovers, and I don't mind hardcovers, but they take up a lot of room, so I tend not to get them too often, except when they're in these sales. But I like this one because it's her first novel. So like, I don't know, just how excited she probably was when this came out. I think it's makes it exciting to me to read it. This was in the occult section, even though it's a fiction story. A novel of the supernatural. Nella Waits. So I guess it'd be a horror kind of, I guess. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, look at that. Where's her cat? Let's back it up. This is the big one. None dare call it witchcraft. This looked so awesome until I realized that it's actually a Christian book. It's written by a Gary North is like a, where does it say what he is? He's a young Christian scholar. So this is like an anti-occult, anti-everything fun book. Church of Satan. Yeah, you can just tell by the quote. I should have paid more attention, but you know, I was really disappointed, and I started flipping through it, and it kind of looked like it still looked all right. I don't know. It's probably terrible, but yeah, you got to watch out when you're buying these occult books. If sometimes they package them for occult people to hopefully buy so they can save them or whatever. So that's a bummer, but it is what it is. And that is, and this book. Field Guide to the Little People. Hold on, let's look at these pictures. I got this from my wife and I thought it was funny. But actually, like, it has drawings of everything. It's from the 70s. It has, like, all these creatures that are, like, not as well known. I thought, you know, if you ever were gonna, like, write a horror story, this would be a cool reference guide to, like, pick some crazy monster creature that's from actual folklore. So the drawings and everything, I don't know. I was just looked like a lot of fun. Very interesting. This little fat guy. Neapolitan Orco. So it's called A Field Guide to the Little People. Oh man, that was really long. I can't believe you watched all this.